So the next step after doing the Pi-tin prototyping to make sure that my circuit works is I'll put it in an enclosure, and in this case I've decided to reuse my first attempt at the Colorsound wah pedal that I made, and I just filled in these holes that I cut with some wood and patched it the best I could. I'm not worried about it being perfect because I'm going to be sticking this label on the top and painting the enclosure black, so it will look a lot better than when it was covered with fabric. So when I come back, I'll show you my progress on what this looks like. Alright, so here we have it painted, have the label on there. It's not a perfect paint job, it's not perfect finish, but I'm not really that concerned about it. I just like to be able to use my Overdriver circuit, and I thought that would be kind of cool to stick it in an enclosure. Yeah, I guess if we go to here you can see it better a little bit. I thought it'd be cool to use something like the original enclosure, and I kind of mixed the white label Colorsound with the other graphics they had, and of course I added the level control, and I'm gonna have an LED right here at a later time, and I'm gonna stick a DC jack in here, probably some on the side here, but yeah, overall I think it's pretty cool, and I get to reuse the enclosure that I spent all this time and effort on, and you know, I like nothing, with me nothing goes to waste. I like to reuse everything and repurpose everything that I can, and so I'm pretty happy that I'm able to reuse this thing. Yeah, pretty cool. So here we are at the end of our project. The Pi-tin has done its job, acting as a temporary enclosure. And here we have the finished product. I have put all the electronics in here. I added the LED, and I put a little DC jack on the side here. I just had this laying around. I think it had extracted it from some broken something, and sat in a drawer for years, and I finally found a use for it. And I made these kind of weird looking knobs out of some really big ugly knobs they couldn't use on anything. They came off an old dead oscilloscope, and so I took the metal collars out of them, and I capped them off with some wood buttons that I shaved the bottom off of and glued to the top. So you get these kind of weird knobs like you might have seen on something in the 60s or early 70s. I think it's kind of cool, but I'm going to look for knobs that are more like the originals. And in case you're wondering about what transistors they might have used, I just took the data sheets for the original units, and the BC169 and BC184, and I looked at the data sheets and looked at the amount of gain and stuff that they had, and came to the conclusion that the 2N5089 probably was the pretty good equivalent, and it did work out really well, actually. What I mainly looked at was that according to the schematic, they want to see 5 volts on the collector of Q2 and Q3, and 1 volt on the emitter of Q2 and Q3. So with my 2N5089s, I was getting really close to 5 volts on the collectors, and I was getting exactly 1 volt on the emitters. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It sounds great. I think it's going to be something that I'm going to use regularly. Of course, it has the same bottom plate as it did before, so it went from that fabric covered wah pedal that didn't quite work to my expectations to being repurposed to this. So hope you found this to be an interesting video, and we'll see you on the next one.